The scariest night of my life, true story time. It was the kind of night where the wind didn't just howl, it told a story. Linnea, 8 years old and very brave, usually, was tucked up tight in her bed. Mama and Papa were at Uncle Finn's birthday, and she was in charge of the house. Then it began. Thump, drag, screech. Linnea's eyes flew open. That, she whispered to her favorite teddy bear Barnaby, is definitely not the wind. It sounded like something huge was creeping across the ceiling, searching. Slowly, slowly, she slid out of bed. The floorboards complained with a tiny creak under her toes. She grabbed her emergency torch. The source of the noise, she decided, was in the upstairs hallway, right outside the attic door. She tiptoed out, her heart beating like a tiny drum. Thump, drag, screech. It was louder now. The torch beam found the shape. It was tall, hunched, and covered in bristly hair. It was scratching at the wall. Linnea squeezed her eyes shut and counted to 3. It's just an old house, she told herself, trying to remember what Papa had taught her. She flicked the torch up. The hairy monster was actually the Papa's old winter coat, which Mama had hung on the coat rack to air out. The bristly hair was the wool, and the wind, rushing through the crack in the attic door, was making the sleeve drag and the hook screech. Linnea let out a long, wobbly breath. She giggled, a tiny, relieved sound. "You are not a monster, Mr. Coat," she said. But just as she turned to go back to bed, a low, rasping groan came from the bottom of the stairs. This was it, the real scary thing. She crept to the top step and looked down. A massive, shadowy face seemed to be floating in the darkness, opening and closing its mouth with that horrible groan. Linnea marched down 3 steps, then paused. She shone the torch, not bravely, but determinedly, right at the shadow. And the massive, groaning face turned into a stack of old, worn-out books piled up against the grandfather clock. The grandfather clock chimed midnight. Linnea smiled and carefully nudged the books into a neater pile. She went back to bed, tucked Barnaby close, and pulled the covers right up to her chin. The night hadn't been scary at all. It had been an adventure.